Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Action Taimanin. Today's event, we're going to be playing Fishing Village in Harmony since we don't have any new events going on. And, unfortunately, Mikami Chizu is not free to play yet, so I do not have her quite yet. And we will be, I forget who plays what. I haven't been training. So let's play Kosaka Shizuru. Hideout underneath a fishing village. There's a place where the elders of the village sometimes secretly gathered and held meetings away from people's eyes. Hydration. Alright, okay. There are more people from outside moving into our village. Is it the Nomadu guys who have sent them? They're always doing pointless things. It's getting hard for people like us to go outside. First they asked to open a small store, but now almost 80% of the village's earnings is made by them. Yes, thanks to them, the original villagers can't even say a word against them. Moreover, a lot of people are trying to suck up to them and get on their good side. Yeah, them youngins know nothing. Money from tourists and development of the village are only good in the short run. They will all be treated like us when they become old. That's what I'm talking about. The elders were talking about the bad things happening in the village. However, they couldn't come up with a solution to those problems. They just repeatedly pitied themselves and continued to speak of discouraging topics. Truth be told, they already talked about this several times before, but they didn't do anything about it. This meeting was only for complaining and comforting. But that day was different. I can't stand this anymore. I'm not gonna die without kicking some nomad's ass. You're right. At this rate, I'm gonna rot away until the day I die. True, we still have money we saved from when we were young. Let's blow their minds real good. Right. Halloween is around the corner, so it's the perfect time if we were to do something. The complaint and insecurity that they normally felt in their mind were at their limits, and they ended up erupting at the words somebody had said. A conversation full of meaningless muttering becomes an equal terrorist attack. As things get heated, the person slightly smiles. He is the one who started the conversation and started all of this. We'll move on foot from here. Hold my hand. Oh, thank you, but it's okay. I can get off on my own. I forgot who the character. Oh. Omari now and Shishimura Koro, students of Gosha Academy in Taimanin, get off from a limo the Gosha prepared. One more person, Arabella Glucksheim, a daughter of a royal family of a country in the Demon Realm, and has stayed in Gosha to exchange fortunes with the Humor, had also got off. Koro got off the limo first to check the surroundings, standing as protecting the car. Now followed, and Arabella, who kindly refused Nao's hand, got off the car slowly and elegantly. She's really, really short. Arabella looks fine. Does she have an official height? She is really short with a really big sword for her height. Okay, so she doesn't have an official height, but Omari now does not have a official height either, does he? No, it doesn't look like he does. How about Koro? Koro's got an official height. Koro is 5'2", which means Arabella is like 5 feet tall. That is tiny. Tiny girl. Koro slightly moved her lips. She used his death record as a soul artist, and is an eco-style swordsman who is known for her EI jutsu. However, since her voice is very quiet, most people don't notice she is speaking if they aren't close to her, let alone understand what she is saying. Right. Being on guard too much will provoke the enemy. Let's be careful. Remember, we are here for a tour. And One of the people who can understand Koro was Komare Now. She is a childhood friend of Koro. She? That's a typo. Komare Now's a guy. Wearing a cool but cute suit and also a bit of makeup, she's a pretty woman who some may think doesn't look like a student. Actually, she's the— oh, okay, that's what they're going at. He just likes cute things so much that he even wants himself to look cute, so now understands that people may mistake him as a woman, but he finds it a little irritating. In terms of guarding Arabella, they are perfect for the job since they don't look too strict, and yet they are skilled enough to protect her. Arabella came to see a fishing village that is said to be controlled by Nomad, and it was only getting stronger. It's a village where the elders gathered and schemed a couple of days ago. Without knowing any of this, Arabella and the others visited a hot village on Halloween, the day the elders had schemed. However, Arabella had a reason for that as well. I forgot this was a Halloween night. So you want to go inspect this village. Oh, do you know that village? I do. Gosha has been investigating the village since we have been told that Nomad's governance is getting stronger there. We can't guarantee your safety since we are still investigating. And most of all, didn't I let you join this task force with humans and demons alike, so you don't have to act on your own? I'm fully aware of your kindness, but I wish you could give me more time to think about joining this task force. Of course, if you won't let me go there, I have no choice but to do as you say. Asagi looked at Arabella's face for a moment. She's astonished by Arabella, thinking she really is from a loyal family in a country that has secured its land between great powers. I think this is supposed to be royal. If you think about Arabella's purpose for the visit, it is very reasonable. Gosha is like the task force, but a place where Nomad's influence is strong. Gosha is like the task force, but a place where Nomad's influence is strong is the perfect place to research the coexistence of humans and demons. Oh, I see. Okay. I see where they're going at. This could probably use a bit of a rephrasing. I'd have to look at the script to kind of figure it out, but if it were a famous place like Tokyo Kingdom or Yomihara, Asagi would have said no, since Gosha has a vast amount of data about them. However, as Asagi said, Gosha is just about to start an investigation on the village. It's an ordinary fishing village where normal people live, where Nomad hasn't had full control over it. It is a perfect example. Arabella let Asagi decide because she knows that for a fact. If Asagi refused Arabella's request without a proper reason, it would seem like Gosha is acting unreasonably. Alright, I approve. On one condition, guards from our side should be with you, and you should always follow the guards' guidance and orders. I want you to keep this in mind. Of course, I'm the one who's being stubborn and unreasonable. Thank you for your hospitality. She doesn't forget to thank and compliment whoever allowed her. Because Arabella wanted approval, not to win over Gosha. So you want to go there on— oh, it's Halloween, which means— yes, I already studied that in advance since I wanted to meet people who I would not otherwise be able to meet on that day. Arabella smiled. In fact, the fishing village has secretly been in contact with merman-type demons long before Nomad took over the village. The villagers not only exchanged goods with the demons who emerged from the gate of the demon realm, which is open deep in the ocean, but some of them fell in love, resulting in half-blood people. Though the contact ended because of the unspoken rule of non-aggression, the blood of the demon still runs in the people of the village, where people rarely come and go. The blood doesn't affect people when they are young, but as they get older, it affects them by turning the shape of their face or skin into merman-type demons. And that, under the standard of human beauty, is not attractive. The elders have refrained from going outside to hide their unpleasant looks as more and more people come from outside since Nomad took over the village. However, Halloween is the only day they can go out to the streets without worrying about anything. Remember the village well known for its Halloween festival where Fuma got involved in a jewelry competition? Halloween in that village was also a day where demons and humans could interact openly with each other. This is how Halloween festivals began. So during Halloween, nobody is suspicious even if there are mermen roaming around. And this is why Arabella thinks Halloween is the best day to investigate the village. But on second thought, it would have been better if I didn't choose to go today. Arabella sighed upon seeing the ways of people before her eyes. Because of the previously stated situation, the village has been celebrating Halloween for a long time, and noticing this, Nomad began to actively promote it. Oh, hello Phoenix, thank you for the raid. Nomad had this festival as its base industry started to renovate each region. Also, it changed each region's specialties in accordance with Halloween. You're done with your stream already? This is usually you're raiding in at like 7 o'clock my time. 19 o'clock my time. This brought more tourists to the village over the years, and while the village flourished, villagers who opposed the change were forced out to the outskirts. This is also well hidden from the public with Nomad's cunning marketing tactics. I happen to put you guys in trouble. Not at all. I'm not Taimanin protecting you bothers me. How reliable. Let's go then, shall we? She then followed Nao and Koro into the crowd. Wow, you eat this grilled fish inside it and throw the bones over here? That's wild. Would you like to try some? No, we're fine. We can't use our hands if we do. I see. That's unfortunate. So good. How can fish be so delicious with only salt? And with fish is really good. It's a pity you can't eat this. Ah, right. Come here. Say ah. Ah? Yeah, it's delicious. Thank goodness you like it. Is this one of the local specialties? Is this made of seashells? Yeah, I thought it was a jewel. A lot of hard work must have been put into it. Ah, this one looks cute. What do you think? Yeah, it's good, isn't it? You say it's good, but you actually have your eyes on these, right? I see, you like these kind of things. And which one do you prefer, this one or this one? Wait, I don't have to choose. You don't? But hanging out with the clueless lady is also part of your job, isn't it? Help me be more clueless then, will you? Alright, I will. Now that's a spirit. After enjoying the Halloween festival along the street, the three of them became quite friendly in the short span they were together. Of course, others may think they were closer in the beginning, since the trio was silent. Koro bright now, and Arabella, who never gets shy even in front of people who she first meets. When they say that now, they can barely understand what Koro says. People who know them will acknowledge they clearly have gotten close. It takes much time just to look around, as Nomad is eager to renovate the village into a tourist site. Arabella closed her eyes as if to remind herself of the scenery she had just seen, sitting on a bench at a place where there weren't many people. The fact that everyone was in costume had some part. The visitors and the villagers who were chatting, regardless of who was a demon and who was a human. The atmosphere was amicable enough to be able to believe some demons or humans wanted to move to the other side after the festival. And even if someone makes a scene, guards hired by Nomad come out and settle down the situation, which is why everyone can enjoy the festival. Anyone who watches the festival might think Nomad's ruling may sound bad, but it's more like autonomy than a monarchy. Now, shall we? Are you going to go back, or do you want to see another one? It's close to the latter, but it's a bit different. My next destination is this way. Wait, Miss Arabella, that way is... Yeah, I know. Arabella stood up from the bench and casually walked down a narrow alley without caring about Nao's warning. Of course, if you mean going back will save you from the trouble of your job, I will do as promised. But if you're saying I don't need to be here since it's not worth investigating, forgive me. I didn't know you wouldn't know this kind of place. Let a walk on the main street, the original fishing village appears. You wouldn't believe it was the same fishing village. To describe it in a good way, it was simple, but put in a bad way, you could say it was desolate. This background art makes it look like it seemed like it's a ruined place. No, the villagers would have lived better lives catching fish, though small, if nothing happened. However, they lost their manpower to Nomad run businesses that pay more, so only the elders who couldn't work anymore, or the ones who couldn't adapt to capitalism, remained. It resulted from Nomad's policy that deserted those left behind instead of helping them, to make profits in a brief amount of time. ladies, alms. They took just a few steps into the alley and they were already found beggars. They were looking for tourists who wandered in by accident. Miss Arabella, ignore them. If you accept one beggar's request, then everyone will beg you for more. And by the time you give all your money, they would ask for more. Yes, I know. Although I'm from a small country, as a royal member, I should think of a way to accept all of them in society rather than giving pennies. I knew it'd be great to come here today, not only because I thought I could meet the villagers, but I also thought I could see the gap between the rich and the poor. However, this is far worse than I expected, and the coexistence of humans and demons is not an easy task. Arabella thinks hard while walking down the alley. From the side, she not only looked sad, but she looked like she was trying hard to figure out how to fix the situation. Now, who had subconsciously thought that she was just another tourist reflected on her own prejudice. This one's a bit awkward. Because reflected on her own... who subconsciously thought she was just another... So this is thinking about Arabella. She is Arabella. But here, this is supposed to be talking about now, so this should be his. Huh? At that moment, he saw three men who put on rags coming towards him from a distance away. At first glance, they looked like a drunk whose clothes have been stolen, or a beggar who went binge drinking after receiving alms. But now signaled Koro, who was walking beside him upon sensing something suspicious. Koro said nothing and smoothly distanced herself from now so that she can support him with ease, maybe because she felt the same things now. They become vigilant so quietly that even Arabella, who they were guarding, didn't notice at all. If they were just a bunch of drunks, they wouldn't outrage now. And the two casually had Arabella lean against a wall and were about to clear the way for them to pass. However, the three men adjusted their path toward them. It would rather be a relief if they cursed. However, they didn't say a word. I warn you, if you get any closer, I'll kill you all. I don't care if you think you can think straight or not. If you're still sane, then don't come any closer. Well, that's a threat. Mr. Now? Arabella, get behind us. Arabella managed to come back from her thoughts upon hearing Now's warning and stepped back as he asked. However, the men didn't respond and still came towards him. You asked for this. I'll take you all down. Light art. Condense. This is awkward. Should probably just say you asked for this, or you brought this upon yourself or something. Yeah. The men arched their back and roared as if they were blinded by the light beaming out of Now's palm. Hot? In the blink of an eye, a crow took them down to the ground and tied their limbs. Gah, grah. However, they shook their heads and tried to bite Koro even if they were tied up. Is this? Now, who was looking at the men to identify them, felt something was off. However, before he could make sense of it all, people were screaming. Loud, chaotic screams that were loud enough to be heard in this alley from the main street echoed throughout the area. Now tried to storm out at once, but stopped upon seeing Arabella's face. As Taimanin, he should respond to the situation, but he's on duty to protect Arabella. It's the utmost task to take her to a safe place first. However, Arabella raised her hand to stop him from doing so. If this is an ambush just to attack me, I will run. But if this is aimed at everyone, it's a different story. Even if they are not my people, how can I call myself a royal family if I abandon them and run away? I want to help you resolve the situation. Understood. As Koro nodded at Arabella's words, Now decided to accept her opinion. The three hurriedly got out of the alley and ran toward the main street. Okay, so none of the playable characters are involved in this. This is so horrendous. It seems Nomad's guards are also being attacked. What is happening here? Right, so Halloween is the reason. What do you mean? Monsters who attack the guards don't seem to be able to think straight. But they look like a human who cosplayed as a demon. Besides, the crowds escaping in panic can't think straight. In other words, it's hard to distinguish one from another. I see, Nomad is controlling the village, but its ruling is based on a belief that it will save the people when trouble comes. If in any case Nomad attacks a human cosplayer, that belief will be questioned. Precisely, and that means we don't need to worry about that. I'm going to attack whoever seems suspicious to maintain our advantage, even if there's a possibility the victim is a civilian. Are you still going to cooperate? I would stop you if your purpose is to murder, but neutralizing them could be seen as prevention from further damage. Haha, I knew you were different from common mediocre rulers. Alright, let's go. When is tomorrow now we're going to be playing this? The Queen's Whip could be stopped by just like not mashing your button, but you kind of have to like live out that entire animation, which kind of sucks. Alright, that was good. Phew, I think we wiped out the ones in this area. Now and the others do everything they can to extinguish the situation by distinguishing panic civilians and evacuating them. Out of the ones they had tied up, they let go of those who could now talk properly and gag the others with ripped pieces of cloth. Why do you gag them? It's a precaution in case they are zombies. Zombies? I have heard of them before. They made quite a scene on Kochara Island before, right? Yes, not only that, I heard a squad was deployed there for a similar incident quite recently. These people share similar characteristics to the zombie creatures from the data I read. Is that so? Ah, no. Wait, why did you take their clothes off? Ah, sorry, was it a bit too much for the lady? I'm doing it to search their belongings or marks. If they do, I think I can trace them to a certain organization. Organization? Yes, more demons have started to expand their powers since Nomad region. I thought maybe this incident was a terrorist attack to achieve that purpose. It's hard to decide just by their belongings or appearance. But lucky for us, Koro is here today. Yep, let me take a look. Miss Koro can do that. Arabella looked shocked as if she was terrified upon seeing Koro, who was touching their skin directly, crouching beside them. Koro is a soul artist. She can get information from the remaining soul of the dead. It would be better if we can identify them without using her powers, since the art is too exhausting. They aren't. Pardon? They are not zombies. They are not dead. They are alive. They only look and act like zombies. What? How's that even possible? After hearing Koro, now we're thinking about what they should do next. If they can't resolve the situation on their own, they should inform Gosha and seek Nomad's cooperation, which he's reluctant to do. And of course, they should keep protecting Arabella as well. Now thought deep for the next plan of action, but... Or screams erupted as if the situation didn't want to give him a moment to think. Anyway, how about neutralizing the situation first? Good, let's move. The three ran once more. A little while ago, before the zombie incident that the three had been involved in. Good day, Lady Ingrid. I've prepared everything for your patrol. A luxurious mansion on a hill a short distance from the fishing village. Lena, who had already prepared for Ingrid's arrival, greeted her as she came. Nice work, Lena. And I'm sorry, I don't want to leave Yomihara unattended for long, but a direct order from the Lord Black means I have to do my best. Yes, I know. It's just I prepared tea for you just in case you were exhausted from the long trip, but... But are you going to leave right now? Well, yeah. No, I can't refuse your hospitality, can I? I will take a break while checking your research on it. Please. Yes, my lady. While Lena prepared tea and snacks, Ingrid sat on a chair and took a look at various information that Nomad soldiers gathered. However, Ingrid was thinking about something totally different. Check how Nomad's following the image affects the areas of our control. It's not like a small village like this will rebel or anything. No, even if they do rebel, It's okay to suppress them, or worse, abandon them. This is just another area that we control out of that, the many. Ingrid glances at the order of inspection. Edwin Black's signature was signed as the final decision maker, but First's name was written on December 1st. First is these guys that make you go, Leroy. Oh, I know this guy. Oh, okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. He's the one who appointed Ingrid, the key figure in control of Yomihara and Lena, who is practically the second in command as investigators. He knows that with the situation I'm in, I can't. Yet he still says things like, "Oh, you've been working tirelessly in Yomihara, so how about you take some time off?" Lady Ingrid, here's your tea. Huh? Ah, right. Thank you. Thanks to Lena, Ingrid snapped out of her thoughts. She thought it was better to focus on the matter at the moment. First. So she left it to inspect it right away after taking a look at the doctor once again while having tea. Hold on, what is that? Lady Ingrid, allow me to explain. It's an event called Halloween where people dress up like that as they like it. Not that. I thought people would dress up like witches, ghosts, or jack-o'-lantern. You're right. However, these days dressing up like a character from animes or games is the trend. They call it cosplay. Hell yeah. Ingrid face palms at Lena's words. The first place they visited was not the main street, but the village square with the fountain, a short distance from the main district. Normally, Ingrid would understand since she knew it was a thing, but... Ad hoc's corporate warrior Ingrid came here to protect the world. On clear path with my ad hoc blade, follow me. Almost half of the female cosplayers, looking closely, some of them were male, dressed up as the main character of the corporate warrior Ingrid. Okay. Hang on. I kinda have to do this. This is what corporate warrior Ingrid looks like. Of course, the character depicts the Hell Knight Ingrid, who is right here. The anime was produced by Lena and allowed to air with the eager support of Overall, to improve the image of Nomad, although the two aim for the opposite. Imagine that your shady shadow organization that you control governments with has such a bad reputation that you create an anime to make it better. However, Lady Ingrid is something to celebrate. Prove that Nomad's influence affects every corner of the world, and everyone worships you. Wow, that is a brooch you wore only in the 3rd episode. Is that the scarf in the 5th episode? Haha, everyone's so talented. Lena, where did you get the camera? Ah, Lady Ingrid, if I may, that stuff I prepared to report what we inspect. Yep, it's only for the record. The record. God, she's such a fangirl. Ingrid sighed upon seeing Lena, who pressed the record button 16 times in a second. That is fast. I don't even think I can do that. Holy crap. As if she is eager to fill all the storage at once, unlike what she just said just before. Wow, is this? It's amazing. This is great. Who are you, and when did you come here? Look at the quality of such a bold arrangement. No, it's basically an original. Looks like its motif is the slutty secretary Ingrid. Before Ingrid knew it, she was surrounded by several men, and she subconsciously readied herself to fight. However, the men didn't come any closer. They just kept complimenting her, keeping her distance from her. Seems like they don't know she is a real Hell Knight Ingrid at all. Hey, can I take a picture with you? Me too. Look over here, please. I might get in a line. Do as you wish. Ingrid wanted to tell them she's not a cosplayer, but she didn't, since she thought it would reveal the fact she is Ingrid if she did. Ingrid came here with Lena alone in the first place, since it would be meaningless if the villagers knew who they were. They would be intimidated, and Ingrid couldn't see them acting naturally. In Yomi Horror, for instance, Ingrid's mere presence on the street makes everyone nervous, in both good and bad ways. That's why she leaves most of the performance to Lena. Looking at it that way, she'd rather had people would think she was cosplaying Ingrid. However, excuse me, could you please pose for the camera? The fourth episode, the final. Let's show here the pose of the episode. Cut it out, Lena. Where are you, Lena? Get these people off of me. Great, spectacular. Look over here, please. Gradually, the photographers began to gain more interest in Ingrid, who responded to them in an unfriendly but disciplined manner. What Ingrid spotted as she was looking for Lena to avoid the cameraman was Lena, who was taking photographs just like, no, much more enthusiastically than the cameramen who were present. Ingrid put on a blank expression and wondered if she should scold her or smack her in the head. Apart from that, other big and small things happened, but Ingrid and Lena continued to patrol the area. They left the main street for last because the main part of the Halloween is at night, and that's when they thought would be best. It would be best to show the city, or it would best show the city. They managed to gain plenty of information just by going from shop to shop and talking to each of the owners. It seems as though there is indeed someone disturbing the peace in this village. What? Really? I thought it was safe to party under Nomad's watchful eyes. Says Lena, shocked at Ingrid's words while wearing a mysterious hat and glasses and blowing out on a noisy horn. It was not really that Lena didn't notice because she's a bit foolish. Probably. The people in the shops all praised Nomad and were satisfied with their rule, as they had planned to say the same thing whenever they were asked. Also, it didn't seem like they were lying either. But Ingrid thought that itself was suspicious. Okay, sorry. As if they agreed to say the same thing so that not even one thing could become the topic of a conversation. Anyway, Lena, we will do a thorough patrol at night. Don't get too excited and wasting your energy. Ingrid, who was about to reprimand Lena, spotted a familiar face running ahead. Fuma Kotaro? Milady, you saw him too? I thought I was seeing things because there would be no possible reason for him to be here. There was a sense of nervousness on Ingrid's face because she wasn't the only one who saw him. After stumbling upon him multiple times, Fuma in Ingrid's head is being more and more recognized as an individual who has a lot to offer for Taimanin. But at the same time, the assumption of where there's trouble Fuma follows becomes more clear. They're here undercover this time, so it won't be a good thing to bump into anyone they know. Even so, he is a person to keep a close eye on, so much so that she's hesitant to not notice him as he runs past. There's still time until it gets dark. Maybe I should follow him for a bit and see what he's up to. As Ingrid ponders and finally makes a decision. Panic screaming. Panic screams of a large crowd echoed in the distance, coming from the main road. What's going on? Lena, who was in a festive mood, instantly puts on a blank expression, becoming a Hell Knight once again. Lena, wait. But Ingrid stops Lena from attempting to dash forth. You go after Fuma Kotaro and see what he's up to. You've met before, haven't you? Try not to get caught spying on him. I will deal with this myself. Yes, milady. Lena gritted her teeth, upset at the fact she couldn't help the people herself, but nodded her head to obey Ingrid's command. Ingrid, of course, had an idea. Fuma was concerned, but those screams seemed more important, which is why she thought it was best for her to save them herself. Thus, Ingrid and Lena split up. Right, Ingrid's involved in this. A zombie creature? Not like normal zombie creatures though, a mutation perhaps. After the Kotrawa Island incident, Oboro took them and modified them to be used in nomad products. Did Oboro, that idiot, get careless at managing them and sell them off to an opposing force at a cheap price? If news that Nomad's goods will run rampant in places under Nomad's control spreads, it will be bad for both Nomad and the public. I was going to move undercover, but that's not an option anymore. Come to me. Get behind me. I'm Ingrid, Hell Knight of Nomad. As the company in charge of this village's safety, I will take care of the situation. You run for safety behind me. I won't let any of those things survive. That should do it. Once the situation settles, I'll be able to differentiate the zombies from the people who have dressed up. Oh, finally, everyone run towards her. I'll switch to Ingrid after this. Aberration.
毒の花びらに埋もらう忍法放ちる乱
Easy peasy.
自慢ではないけれどこれぐらいね
Alright, let's switch to Ingrid.
さあ行くぞ我に続け
Ha! Hiya! Dark Flame. Orion Pain. Yeah. Phew, that should be the last one. I wonder if the civilians are safe. Ingrid sheathes her sword after defeating the final zombie in its round. Only the corpses of zombie creatures and those who died early on remain. The surviving civilians have all escaped. I guess we should help with the funeral of the civilians and visitors. The wounded need medication too. We should call for assistance from at HQ. When Ingrid checked that there were no remaining survivors, she took out her comms device, but then several people ran to the main street. This way, quickly. It was now and a few others who had killed a few zombie creatures in another area and had rushed here after hearing the cries for help. Strange though, isn't it? The scream suddenly died down. Oh. Demon? Is she the reason for all this? Miss Arabella, fall back. Taimanins? Could they be with Fumo Kintaro and his task force? But it looks like they have a demon with them, too. Is she also a member? Now, who doesn't know anything about Ingrid keeps an eye on her. After looking at her standing calmly and then at the pile of corpses, Arabella steps forward despite Mal's warning. It's been too long, Hell Knight Lady Ingrid. Do you remember me? Your Lux Times. I remember. Back when I was in the Demon Realm, I saw you at a party that was held at your household. You've grown a lot since then. It seems they've met before. It took Ingrid longer to remember because Arabella was very young back then. So what brings you to this fishing village? Oh, there's only one reason to come here at this time of year. Halloween, of course. The two here are Taimanin and Gosha, where I'm staying at. They once sent them to accompany me, word that I was traveling alone. It's a festive time, but this happened, so I was doing my duty as a noble and came here to help. Thanks, They were actually here on patrol, but Arabella thought there was no need to tell her that, and just said that she was a tourist as they escorted her here. I see, that's very noble of you. I'm also here with a servant of mine because a fellow at work suggested I take a break. But as a nomad, I couldn't just stand here and watch the chaos unfold. Sorry. So I defeated all the zombies here and was just about to call in soldiers to clean the place up. Ingrid did the same, not revealing why she was really here, just like Arabella, because there were Taimanins present. My apologies for the late introduction. This is Lady Ingrid, famous among Taimanins, I believe. This is Mr. Homari now, and this is Miss Shishimura Koro. Nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you. Nice to meet you. Likewise, I would like to get to know you more, but this is not the right time for that. Let's concentrate on dealing with the situation together for now. I agree. Good to hear. I'll bring my nomad soldiers to take care of this place. You should contact the Captain Fuma Kotaro and let him know that we will be working together. Fuma Kotaro? From the task force? What about him? I'm leading this mission. Don't make assumptions like that, please. What? Wasn't the task force escorting you? Then why was he here? Perhaps he's on a different mission, or is he also here on vacation? Ingrid learned from Nao's reply that Fuma was here for a different reason. When she was about to ponder what exactly was going on, a message from Lena. Lena, who had been following Fuma, called. Sorry for contacting you on your day off. It's fine, I had no plans for today anyways. I just thought you were asking me out because it was so sudden. I can wait another decade when you become a man. How old is Anna Rose? Because I think Fuma Kotaro was like 17 or 18 in this timeline. Let's see. Characteristics, relationship. It doesn't say when she was born. Oh well. Miss Anna Rose and I exchanged a few jokes while walking on the outskirts of the fishing village just hyped for Halloween. Anna Rose was in Amihadara not long ago when there was a zombie creature incident. She was saved when she was in a desperate situation, and from then on she asked me to escort her, and that's how we got to know each other. I don't think Anna Rose would need help for that, but after the incident was taken care of, I was going to ask Goshi to pay for the fee as per the agreement, but Miss Anna Rose said she changed her mind and instead asked, changed her mind and didn't take the money, and instead asked her to help with some of her detective work. I was going to ask Gosha to pay for the fee as per the agreement, but Miss Anna Rose said she changed her mind and didn't take the money, and instead asked her to help with some of her detective work. I think this is supposed to be me, asking me to help some of her detective work. Which is why I'm here today as Miss Anna Rose's assistant, not as the task force's captain. So, why exactly are we here? Care to tell me? I doubt anyone can listen from here. Okay, the real reason I am here is to find out the truth about the zombie creature incident a while back. The truth, did that man called Bard escape here? I mentioned the name of the man who modified the zombie creature originally to use Miss Anna Rose's servant Michiko. Michiko? Is it a Michiko? Is it Michiko? Oh, it's supposed to be Michiko, so this is a typo, I think. But then he says, to trap us him on set. But Miss Anna Rose shook her head. Actually, I dove deeper into it after it happened. And I think it was the Mafia in Tokyo Kingdom that brought the zombies into the Hamida horror. Bard found the zombie by coincidence and modified it when he got the chance, meaning there were others who sold the zombies to the Mafia. And they're here? How did you know that? more information is top secret. With that, Miss Anna Rose put a finger to her lips. Nah, let's go as you planned. Do you see anything? No, not really. I'll keep looking. Miss Anna Rose asked me to keep watch with the drone I use in my mission while she goes into the village and investigates. As she investigates, deliberately made it obvious that she was investigating, gathering information so that whoever was behind the zombie incident would try to stop her. A seamless plan with 2 steps. If the one responsible for the incident doesn't stop her, she will gain information. If they do try to stop her, then they will be spotted by me. I had a big role to play in this, because if I lost the suspect, then Miss Anna Rose would be in big trouble. Ingrid? When I saw the Nomad executive Ingrid, I got distracted. I didn't think she'd be the one behind the incident, but she is an executive of Nomad. I had to think of it as a possibility, just in case. No, I'm just imagining things. That's just a cosplayer. Being surrounded by a bunch of cameramen and posing at their request, and the fact that there were many women dressed as Ingrid, I assumed it was some kind of Halloween costume. If they looked like they were about to do something suspicious, it would have been a different story, but since there wasn't anyone acting suspiciously, I couldn't thoroughly investigate it if it wasn't Ingrid. I focused my attention away from Ingrid? Question mark. Ingrid. Sorry, Ned. And checked the surroundings once again. What's the matter? Nothing. I don't particularly see any suspicious movements either. Okay, I'll go back to where you are then. I have all the information I need. After that, Miss Anna Rose returns, going through dangerous alleyways on purpose. Even so, there's nobody that followed her. I found something interesting because Nomad is in control of this area. The villagers have accepted this and are reaping the benefits of it. I see. Taimanin will see this as a good sign, but looking at how likely this place is, I understand why. But that's what's interesting. What do you mean? Logically speaking, unless they've been brainwashed, not everyone can have the same opinion. If they do, it's more likely that the people who think otherwise are being excluded and ostracized. Most of the time, it unconsciously becomes guilt. Especially if the villagers knew each other. That's why I took the kind person approach, saying a few compliments about the village here and there. That did the trick. They told me everything after that. All the complaints about the village's stubborn elderly for not deciding to choose that area. The village elderly. Now that I think about it, the owners of each of the shops say they were relatively old. Now that I think about it, the owners of each of the shops are relatively young. Actually, when the people here get old, their skin or face changes, and they becomes merman-like. This is why at times like these, when there are lots of visitors, they can't really roam around freely. Back in the day, were days when they could dress up and wear makeup to really be problems. But Nomad has been pushing Halloween, so utterly didn't want to seem like they were enjoying this, and it would make it seem like they support Nomad. The young people who have accepted Nomad's rules seem to be happy about not seeing many elderly out in the open. And if the person behind the incident is within the villagers as he suspects, exactly, I can make contact with the elderly and make them cause a scene. I've roughly found where they live. Let's move together from here. Okay, let me retrieve the drone and... Huh? What's wrong? When I looked at the monitor to retrieve my drone, I was shocked to see a sea of zombies causing chaos. When I zoomed in, I realized that the zombies were ambushing the area from multiple places at the same time. Zombies are attacking the villagers and visitors here. And there. What? How? Could they have disguised the zombies in the crowd and ambush them at the same time? The zombies back to Bashara Island and attacked everything apart from their own kind. So when I moved like a normal human being, they didn't even notice. Me, even if I looked like a zombie. I guess they have been modified just like the incident on Midahara. It's my fault. Miss Anna Rose, let's go take care of this. Wait, this village is under Nomad's control. Let them take care of the chaos. We're going to find the one behind this. All of this. If only we can find out where they are. We can find where they're controlling the zombies from. Remember, I said I found out where they are? Well, they're beneath the ground. Then walks down to a quiet path where they say the entrance to an underground tunnel is. While I followed her, another cosplayer dressed up as Ingrid caught my eye. When I looked closer, she looked a lot like the real one, but right now is not the time to be concerned about it. I guess I should switch to Anna Rose for this one. Who's there? Ah, Miss Anna Rose, why? Why? I just knocked him out because he was in our way trying to stop us. No, he could have just been protecting a facility that's beyond here. Nope. How come? A witch's sense. That again, but this time I don't think. Gotta alert. Hey, wait. Present pain. You're an accomplice now. You did that on purpose, didn't you, to make me take him out? Maybe? Anyhow, you've got no choice but to fight. Let's go. More zombies. I told you, a witch's sense is always right. I guess I'll believe you now. Miss Eneros, a lot of enemies on your right. Here? Ha! What? How'd you... Idiots, block the path. Don't let them pass. Ah! Damn it, I wasn't told about them. Because we never let anyone know, right? I guess. Zip it. I doubt we need something this strong in a quiet village like this, but it's a good thing we came prepared. Come out. Roar. Wow, didn't expect it to be this big. It's gonna take some time to take this down. Take down this one. You sound a little happy when you say that. Because the stronger the foe, the higher chance the mastermind behind all of this is really here. That is also true. Quit yapping, your life is on the line right now. Go, Eater Creature Lord. It's kind of a silly name.
Hero! Giant! Ta! Ya! Ta! Ta! Hero! Ha!
Really played Anarose.
期間はお前だ。タイミングは任せる。魔剣ダークフレイム。失せろ。はあ。
Super easy. Just ult and win.
当然の結果だ。
さあ行きましょう。
Hello, Shiva. Good night, Shiva. No, the masterpiece. Done. My arm. Quit yapping. Your life is on the line right now, isn't it? Oh, Anna Rose is mean. Even though she said it was going to take some time, she quickly disposed of the monster and then the soldiers. Then she goes up to the man in charge and breaks his arm. I did not mean to do that. Let me just retreat and restart the mission. Sorry about that. I should not have pressed escape there. So who do you take orders from, and where are they? Miss Eneros, aren't you supposed to break off their arm when they refuse to answer? Guys like these don't give up information that easily, you see. So I'm saving time. I might just break both of his legs as well. I'll tell you everything, please don't! Oh, Eneros, you're a scary woman. I think this guy would have told us everything even before he broke his limbs, don't you think? Easy for you to say when you're not in this situation. Come on, let's hear what he has to say. Her actions remind me of one cheeky little girl from the Chinese Union. Well, she just joined my task force. Oh jeez, I wonder who that is. I don't mention it though, and listen to what the soldier had to say to us. Just as Miss Eneros predicted, it was the villagers elderly who were the culprits. But that's all they knew. They haven't heard of the man called Bard before. But Miss Andros broke one of his legs just in case he was lying. Oh, they got worse. Andros, you're a scary woman. And all we need to do now is question the village's elderly people. We set out to see what was hidden on the ground in the hidden room that the soldiers were protecting. Wait, is that true? I looked back, surprised at the unexpected voice from behind. There stood Lena, the Hell Knight, who claims to be the right hand of Ingrid. Lena? Do you guys know each other? I knew someone was following us, but she showed no hostility nor got in our way. And she even took down the rest of the soldiers we missed, so I wasn't saying anything. Thanks, I was just here spying on Fumo Kotaro. But it seems like we were here investigating the same thing. That's why I revealed myself and found more information. What are you guys looking to do? To take care of this situation, to punish the culprit behind it? I'm seeking information right now, so unless our objectives differ, I will follow your orders and I will act as a sword. I see. Good. You're okay with that, yes? Yo, yeah, I'm cool with her. Just one thing. Is it really? Oh, she's still taking care of the situation above, but we came to the village together. So I did see the real Ingrid. But she doesn't seem to be the cause of the situation and seems to be looking for the cause as well. And I'm sure she's willing to work together. Contradicting as a Taimanin, but this isn't the first time. So we share what we knew with Lena. Ah, they're everywhere. Where do we need to go to be safe? Crap, they just keep coming. Ingrid, what's your contact from the comms tell you? Don't rush me. Lena, I want you to double check. There must be no mistakes. Are you sure the elderly is behind all this? On the surface, the zombie creatures are still on the loose. Civilians and tourists were evacuating the area in order thanks to the reinforcements that Ingrid called in, but it was taking some time because there were too many people and they were all panicking. Ingrid was in the midst of all this with the Taimanins and Arabella slicing zombies and talking on the comms. Yes, they broke the limbs of the soldier for hire to confirm who was telling the truth. Okay, keep following Fumo Kotaro. After Ingrid ended the call, she shakes her head in disbelief. She wasn't sure if the people Lena mentioned were the elderly that she sees, but among the people fighting against the zombies, there were the elders of the village. They had merman-like features, just as she was told. It seemed like they had been hiding so they wouldn't be used as tool of nomad. But when the chaos ensued, they appeared from out of nowhere and fought off the zombies with the village's youngsters. They weren't strong, but they fought better than the ordinary elderly, perhaps because of their demonic powers. Because their demonic powers took effect. What's going on? Ingrid hesitated. As nomad, it would have been a common conclusion to think that Taimanins and the woman claiming to be the witch of Ameda Hara are working together, Triplina. But Ingrid didn't think too badly of Fuma to be thinking that way. Plus, Lena has a good eye for kind people. Anything new? No, my servant and your task force captain Fumo Kotaro have joined forces to deal with the culprit behind this mess. Okay, then we just have to sit tight and continue killing these zombies, right? Ingrid stopped thinking and decided she needs to take care of what's happening right now at Now's desperate question. At Ingrid's answer, Koro and Arabella seemed to feel relieved to know the fact that Fumo was also moving to settle the situation. But perhaps it loosened their nerve a bit. Lord screams. What? Shoot! The zombie creature blocked the girl from fleeing and swung its arm big. Or rather, Ingrid and others got stiffened due to the momentary hesitation between beating the zombie down and rescuing the girl. I won't let you do that. Ugh. The only one that moved at that moment was Arabella, who was only thinking of rescuing the girl from the very beginning. She jumped toward the girl from the side, hugged her as if defending her, and rolled on the ground, but the arm of the zombie was long and his nails grazed Arabella's skin. She got 3 red strands of a wound on her satiny thigh. Miss Arabella! Now crushed the zombie creature with a strike even before it could swing the second blow. Coral rushed to Arabella and pulled out the aid kit from the pocket inside. I'm sorry, we're here to guard you, but we hesitated. It's just a scratch. I'm fighting the battlefront with you when I should be protected. I know it's impossible to fight while guarding you perfectly. Even if so, here, you'll be okay for now. But any further than this is... Indeed, I swore to follow your order that I should step away from the dangerous situation, but... I'm sorry to say this, but would you keep fighting together? I can't forgive them. How dare they ruin a festival everyone should be enjoying, and even putting children through this. I will never forgive them, no matter what. Yeah, you're right. It seemed that Arabella's words had touched not only Ingrid and the others, but also the villagers. At least the people who gathered here became one under the will to solve the situation. This one should be Ingrid. Miss, I want to fight too. What? No, you have to run away. The nomad soldiers over there will take you to a safe place. Your parents are already evacuated, right? You should go back to your family safely. But she's just said she's fighting, even though she also needs to be protected. I did indeed. There's no rule that the one who should be protected cannot fight. Arabella, I know what you want to say, but wielding a weapon is not the only way to fight. Protecting you like I did just then, that's also one way to fight. Then, what should I do? We will buy some time for the people who couldn't escape yet. Then, you go encourage them not to panic and give up. With a voice louder than those zombie roars. Okay. There's so many characters involved in this. This one should be easy. I believe my other skill is double tap dodge. So who would be the I guess Ingrid? Section 5 will be Ingrid. I'm guessing it's gonna be Ingrid. I guess it could be
さあ
both.
行くぞ我に続け
Was this street the last one? Yes, milady. We completed evacuating and accommodating civilians and tourists. The number of zombies are still increasing, but they're aimlessly roaming around as there are no humans to attack. We can lure them out and destroy them individually with our forces alone. Okay, it's exhausting. After hanging out the call with Lena, Ingrid had fought much harder than anyone else as the ruler of this village, and now she was utterly worn out. Excuse me, you must be Lady Ingrid. Yes, I am. You're one of the villagers, so what's the matter? Then the villagers' elders came to her. Ingrid recalled the data Lena told her and put her guard up. We are so sorry. But the elders knelt and bowed their heads down altogether. Why do you... Wait, did you truly cause all this disturbance? We knew it. You saw through everything already. At Ingrid's words, the elders nodded and bowed their heads lower. But then, why? Why didn't you just leave it as it was? Why did you deliberately help us even by taking a risk? It was too risky to say it was making your alibi. We don't know either. With that, they carefully started confessing what they had done. They said that they just wanted to change the situation a little by causing the disturbance, making Nomad lose its reputation at first. That was the same fact that Ingrid guessed and confirmed through Lena's information. But they also said they didn't expect the mercenary they hired would make a big problem like this. How couldn't you know that? Who signed a contract with the mercenary? That's the weird thing. We were just lamenting about the situation in our village. Normally that would have been the end of it, but then someone concretely suggested we hire mercenaries. So we handed the money to him and left him to do whatever he wanted, and things went downhill. We never thought he would do something that could get people killed. We were also shocked, so we tried to recall who he was. But strange, he must have been there with us, but nobody can remember anything about him. Anyway, we joined you to settle the situation because we never wanted to go this far. In fact, we didn't mean to do anything further than that. We were going to keep our mouth shut and take it to the grave. Even if you would call us cowards, we couldn't bring ourselves to speak the truth. However, what the lady said there touched our hearts. Even if we were incited, what we did is unforgivable. All of this happened because we were weak. While calmly hearing them, Ingrid shot them and looked to see through whether they were lying. However, she couldn't feel any hint of a lie from the others, who bowed their heads low and talked as if everything was over. No matter what the reason was, as a member of Nomad, I can't overlook what you've done. You had to pay with your lives. We're prepared for that. What we did cannot be undone. The village and its people cannot stay the same forever. We lost a place to live and should have left much earlier. After saying that, the elders bowed their heads even lower and stuck out their necks. Ingrid silently put her hands on the hilt of the demonic sword, Dark Flame. With her power, she could cut off all the heads of the elders here in an instant without letting them feel any pain or even the fear of death. But please wait. The young man who had remained to fight alongside what the elders stepped forward as if defending them. It's all our fault in making these people have to do this, because we told them if we didn't want to spend our whole lives in this old-fashioned fishing village and turned our faces away from the hometown which raised us to now, obsessed with the bright future. If you got mad due to the revolt against the Nomad, we will be more loyal to you instead, so please let them live. Why the shameless speech now? However, as I heard your words, it feels like Nomad is also responsible because you tried to rule the village too quickly and caused the generational conflict, so I will give you days of grace. During those days, you better share your thoughts well with each other. If, even after the period, there's a hint of disagreement, I will surely cut off your heads then. Thank you. At Ingrid's words, the youngsters knelt and bowed their heads deep. Are you okay with this? She takes all the credit. If a symbiotic society with no grudge can come true, I don't think it matters who is responsible for it. Arabella and her escorts were watching them from afar. It's okay, because I'll remember you always, ladies. Glad to hear that. Would you remember this too? In fact, I'm a man. The girl's eyes widened. What happened here? When we entered the underground chamber, we were bewildered because it was empty. According to the mercenaries' information, it must have been a base of the village elders. However, to call this a base, it seems more like a secret base. Miss Enora said the exact same thing as what I was feeling. A dim and small room. As I looked at the necessities and groceries piled up, the owners of this room were likely to have felt comfortable spending a long time here. It didn't look like a place where people would have schemed. It seemed more like a children's hideout where they gathered secretly without adults knowing, but which was built by adult level financial ability. Lena, would you call Ingrid and ask how's everything there? Yeah, I'm already on it. Lady Ingrid, how's it going there? Yes, okay, Fuma, she wants to talk to you. Okay, hello, Fuma speaking. We got a lull here, but the situation went a bit troublesome. We changed the information again. I was shocked at the fact that the elders, who we thought would be a culprit, were actually just manipulated by someone else and came out to the ground and helped settle the situation due to the feeling of guilt. But then, where's the control device? I can't find it here. Control device? You mean the device to control the zombies? When we found the zombies at first, we thought they were drunks with Halloween makeup. Yes, it can suppress or conversely strengthen their ferocity as necessary. By the way, who are you? One of the Nomad soldiers? Oh my. I'm sorry, I'm Arabella Glucksheim. You're from Okotaro, the captain of the task force, aren't you? I guess you heard my name already. I remember when I heard the name, that there was a demon invited as a guest, and she was checking whether she should join my troop, although I decided to put the decision on hold for a while. She probably got involved while investigating this village because her purpose is a symbiotic society to humans and demons. Did you come here alone? No, Mr. Homari now and Miss Shishi Murakoro are escorting me. Those two names were also familiar to me. They're the key members of the so-called public morals team. When my thoughts reached what the two ninjas were, I came up with one idea. Well, what's wrong? After apologizing to Ingrid for being rude by interrupting the communication with Fuma, Arabella came back to now Koro. The captain of the task force asked whether Miss Koro can use her powers to find the zombie control device. My power, but what he mentioned must be soul art. He probably called it differently because Ingrid was also listening. However, Koro had already tried it and it didn't work well, so she hesitated. Well, he said the aberrations are controllable, but needs special processing to make them. So it would be hard to produce a large amount. Hang on. I feel a sneeze coming on. I hate when that happens. Yeah. I see, it's like Flint and Fuel. They would have used controllable zombies first to cause trouble, and once that grew, maybe they deployed more and more normal zombie creatures. Namely, were the ones that we fought later more likely to be the normal zombies? Hearing this, Pro instantly knelt near the zombie line nearby his ninja art. How is it? It's true, I can read the soul of the zombie, but everything is unclear because it's too simple-minded. All I can see is a woman who looks like a snake and a location symbol. Koro wrote down the information he had read. Well, this is supposed to be she, because this is Koro on the right and it's a woman. Thank you. So a snake-like woman in this location seems to have the control device thing, right? Ingrid, guess we found the location of the control device. I want to join Fuma and gather all our powers just in case. Would you order your subordinates so too? Okay, Fuma, did you hear that? We will send you the data. With Lena and your friend, let's meet at this location. Will it be okay if we work together? If you say that now, just come there quickly. Got it? That's how the witch of Amidahara, Gosha's Taimanins, the noble demon from a small demon country, and the Hell Knight of Nomad formed a team. They set out to face their final enemy as a group that would sound like a tall tale to anyone who's familiar with the current political situation.
魔界騎士イングリッド入る
The data says is near here. Ah, over there, there's a horde of zombies. Aren't they activated yet? They're not moving at all. There's also Noggle using some device while standing in the middle of them. That must be the control device. Then, let's finish them off quickly. Hey! Huh? Who are you? I'm the Hell Knight Ingrid. Your scheme has failed. Do as I say and you'll... Oh, okay. Quite obedient. My ass! What can you do with such a small number of people? Can't you see these tons of zombies? Smash them all! Ha 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 ha! My, I thought I was finally over, but there's one more thing to do. Oh, will you take a break this time then? There's also none of your ruling villagers watching us now. It's just annoying. No need to care about me. I'll clear a path with my dark flame. Follow me, all of you. Excuse me, we promised that I would command the team. Never mind, it seems to be over soon too. Everyone just wants a participation trophy. Smile, Taffy. What kind of car is that? I mean, obviously it's a fictional car, but it looked like the logo looks like a Toyota.
当然の結果だ
It's like a Prius. I'm sorry. As all the zombies have been wiped out in a few minutes, a few Monagas who launch at us will be into the brink of death. Heck? Why? Miss Anarose went near her and jerked her arm out. She's definitely gonna break it again. Oh, wait, please wait a bit. Let's ask first this time. Maybe she will meekly tell us everything. How? Isn't it rather rude toward her? Maybe she's prepared not to say anything, even if it may kill her. What? Am I gonna die? It makes sense, because she is willing to fight back even in an unfavorable situation. What? No need to worry about that. Even if she dies, we still have Koro. I'll tell you everything, please. She started to seem pitiful now. Anyway, she told us everything, probably because the threat worked. It's almost identical as the outer statement, but just like them, she cleverly blamed the elderly, and we couldn't find out who the real culprit was in the end. That night, we were invited to the village's old traditional Halloween festival that was secretly held at the beach. Most of the tourists had already left, and the village said the festival now was the same size as it was held a long time ago. Originally, it would have been impossible to hold the festival every year, but the next year's festival will probably become much more magnificent with stronger security. So this is the last year that the villagers can hold the festival on an original scale. Perhaps that's why the villagers united and eagerly finished cleaning up and held the festival for one night with Nomad's permission. The faces of the elders, who were feeling sad but trying hard to say goodbye to the festival, was memorable. Of course, it was possible thanks to Arabella, who set out actually to help the villagers, and now Koro, who said they were here for this permission, though. Anarose was disappointed for ending up losing the culprit and was about to go back, but Ingrid hired her as a detective, so she helped the village. Now she seemed to be in good mood after receiving the specialty of this village liquor. seeing themselves working together across group boundaries to restore the village. The villagers seem to feel anew how precious the reunion is. Good evening. Oh, Mr. Luxheim. I'm sorry for the delay in greeting you. I was so busy to pick up the pieces, I should have greeted you properly first. It's okay, just call me Arabella. You don't need to be too formal either. Maybe someday may have to call you a captain, don't I? It was interesting to see the way how you talked with Leia Ingrid, even though you are a Taimanin. With that, Arabella smiled sweetly. Is she saying that she decided to join the task force after seeing what happened today? Well, thank you. Let's talk about the details after getting back to Gosha. Oh, you were here. I asked you not to get far away. There are fewer people within afternoon, and it doesn't seem dangerous though. Then her escorts now and Koro appeared. Oops, sorry, it's because I met him here. Ah, you must be Fuma Kotaro. Is this the first time meeting in person? I heard you were pretty active recently. Nice to meet you. Now Lally said hello to me. As you see his face close like this, his face is so pretty that I dare say it's the face of beautiful girls or beautiful boys. However, I'm not sure whether it's just a feeling. The gaze he sent me with that clean face looked like a somewhat deep dark feeling was swirling inside. No, I still have a lot to learn. I look forward to working with you in the future on the mission. But there wasn't any conviction or proof. I replied ordinarily and looked at Coral beside him. I also appreciate you for helping us even though you were on the escort mission. That's right, we just did what we wanted. Coral moved her mouth faintly and Arabella nodded to her. I couldn't hear anything that she said. I knew from hearsay that Coral speaks quietly, so I tactfully answered and continued talking with you free. What are you guys doing? It's a festival. Are you ghost people only talking to each other? I'm so disappointed. Then, Miss Anna Rose, drunk and staggering, came to break in on our talk. Jesus! There's something funny about the demons calling out to Jesus. Surprise. Why not? I'll introduce her. I've met her only a few times though. She's such a strong person when she needs to be, but I still introduce her to the others, wondering if it's alright to introduce her while she's still drunk. And then suddenly I came up with the thought that I should call Ingrid and Lena here. By the way, where did Ingrid and the others go? Feels like I haven't seen them for a while. That woman asked her to drink together, but she went back saying she still has something to do because this village is their jurisdiction. Isn't she diligent? Everyone seemed to understand her and Miss Anna Rose's words, but I, who knew Ingrid the most among the people here, was thinking of another possibility. Perhaps she left because she considered the village elders. If she remained, even though she forgave them in the end, the village elders who once would have been beheaded couldn't have enjoyed the festival. Or did I overestimate her? Whatever, only she will know the truth. Phew, done putting together these reports. Next, a financial report, and meanwhile, Ingrid was handling office work about this incident at the base on the hill where she visited at first. Lady Ingrid, I'm sorry to say this, but would you leave such trivial things to me or the other soldiers? No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to steal your work. I'm just feeling like I won't be able to suppress this rage unless I do something. Suppress the rage? Yes, the corporate never got their hands dirty, but hid in the shadow and committed the case using other people's resentment. Sly snake. I hate such nasty bastards more than anything. As Ingrid clenched her fist, it just made a creaking sound. But she relaxed her arms and soon continued looking through the documents in her hand. That's why I'm doing this, so I'm sorry, but... However, shortly as she felt something, she stood up and squinted her hand and handed over the documents to Lena, opposite to what she had said right before. I'm sorry, something came up. May I leave these to you? Sure, of course. Although she was momentarily confused, Lena is so loyal that she's willing to dance standing on her hands, thinking there would be a reason if Ingrid ordered her to do so. What a loyal woman. She immediately received the paper sheets, sent off Ingrid, and then started to fight alone in front of tons of members, moaning. A sewer under the fishing village. After the incident ended and the elders left the hidden room, at the place that became restricted so that no one could enter. Oh dear, I planned everything for them, but this is the end result? A man stood there. His name is First. He's the nomad executive who sent Ingrid here. I was about to eliminate the elderly people disturbing the development and make the others follow nomads so that we can strengthen our control over them, but he seemed displeased because, although the goal of raising the prestige of the nomad succeeded, the elderly were still alive and their honor was also raised due to the variable name of the Taimanins. That's right, he was the main culprit of the incident. He came to the elderly people's rooms to remove the magical trace that would be easily found by the investigation and was just about to go back. I don't know who did this, but it was quite an annoying tracking measure. Thanks to you, I couldn't do anything. I never expected that using the easy outers or the full mercenaries that I bought for controlling them freely would be a bad idea. Oh? Someone's blocking the front of first going back to the sewer. What are you doing here first? It was Ingrid. Oh, hi there, Lady Ingrid. Well, I heard about the news of this village and I couldn't help but come here. Because it was me who recommended you to send to this place. You're the culprit, weren't you? Lady Ingrid, I do respect your swordsmanship, but you better learn what consideration is. At Ingrid's sharp words, first managed to reply as calmly as possible while covered in cold sweat. I know all what it is. The fact that your head is still up there is proof. Thank you so much. It's an honor to receive your thoughtful consideration. Let's see. I will report this incident accurately. Okay, that's what I want too. I especially hope you include the fact that you let the slide nomad hiding old bags as an excuse to live. I agree they were also criminals, but they weren't the main culprits. It means I could take them into account. That's not the point. The fact that you left people who could cause problems could damage Nomad. Even if you can't change their minds, the rest of their lives are too short and it wouldn't be that beneficial for us, you know? Ingrid grit her teeth. A towering rage at his discourteous spirit filled her entire body. But there wasn't a single piece of obvious evidence that he was the culprit. Anyway, it seems the situation is settled and I also didn't need to come here deliberately. Then, I'll go back now. Let me pass through. First, you will pay for what you said. But first, just giggle nastily without an answer, walking past her. Okay. Whew. I feel like I got a little delayed on that one. Is that one a little bit longer than normal? I'm not sure. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yawn. Okay, alright. Let's blow through all this with Ingrid, I guess. I guess she's involved in... One and two would be Homari now or Shisha Kodo Bella, but neither. I think two also. All kind of combined. Yeah, but it looks like I mean, it's close to my
死ね
That's really hot.
指揮官はお前だ地ほどタイミングは任せるはっはっはっ失せろやーキル邪念滅流点と
Doesn't look like it's actually actuating from the ceiling fan. Looks
邪念点
maybe it is. A little bit, maybe a little bit. Alright, I'll turn it off. I'll suffer the heat. You know what? Just hang on. Whew, okay, that's better.
魔界騎士イングリッド
This would be an Anora's winning the mission.
参るはあせジャエンセンヘアはっせせはとキルはエンメトリューテンと口ほどにもさあせせはっせせせせ指揮官はお前だタイミングは任せるやうせろせはっやっせはっゲローガせやせと
Ingrid's gotta be.
ジャエンセンはあキル
I mean, I get it.
ジャエンメトリューテンはっ
Started off with like hentai, so of course all the characters are gonna be like super sexy. It's fine. I don't mind that.
魔剣ダークフレイムうせろはあ当然の結果だ
Okay, alright, whew.
「魔界騎士イングリッド」「ジャエンセン」「トリラーセキル」「セアーツリューテン」「消えろ」「セセトト口ほどにもセ指揮官はお前だタイミングは任せるゲローガはあセキルジャエンメツリューテン
Cheesy?
セアートセ消えろ
I believe that's next week, isn't it? Yeah, she released last week. I think.
Yeah!
I'm pretty sure Chizu released last week, so let me double check that real quick. Oh, my Ingrid saves.
君かおはよう 出発前にみんなに顔を見せてやれ
Available next week. Okay. Alright.
さ
Yeah, so
号令をかけてくれ
next week is
準備はできている
I'm just gonna like just realized I'm not gonna skip tickets. So that means I'm gonna be grinding like grinding manually. I do need to clean up some of these other ones, but after we finish this, we'll do
魔界騎士イングリッド
the Arabella Bond event, and then
ジャエンセンやっと
the rest of
セ
it.
はあととセセセジャエンセンヘアートはっやジャエンメツリューテンセはあセやセヘアーセはセ
I kind of wish that they would just let you go straight to hard mode and then give you the option if you want to like skip the cutscenes or not. I know Fire Emblem Heroes does that, where you can play it on hard mode at first, or like lunatic mode, I guess, because you know hard lunatic, where it's just game on hard. In Fire Emblem Heroes, you can make it so that it plays the story the first time you play the level, or or I guess ideally, where you don't get the story. Instead, you just get segments, like individual. Another option. Where you select a level you want to play. You're better off using like the whatever.
当然の結果だ。
Sorry.
魔界騎士イングリッド入る。ジャレンセフェアやは口せはっ口ほどにも死ぬせたやせジャレンセ
We're gonna get Mikami Chizu next, and then I think they just announced the Nurse Lanxiang outfit, which I'm definitely gonna have to pick that up too, because I like Lanxiang. And I can't get more outfits for Rinko because I have all of her outfits already. So that's just, you know, I have everything for Rinko already because I'm favorite.
当然の結果だ。魔界騎士。 タイミングは任せる。滅流星。 やっ切る邪炎滅流天おりゃ土ほどにもなせ
This is stage 4?
負け
Yeah, that's the point. Alright, we almost done with Fishing Village and Harmony.
魔界騎
There's
士
some other ones that I... Let's see.
ジャイアンツフェアはっフェア切る邪炎滅流
I guess I could come up with like
Yeah.
possible build ideas, but
天やー死ねやーはっせ
I doubt I'm gonna like really learn her because
ジャイアンツフェアと切る邪炎滅流指揮官はお前だタイミングは任せる伏せろやーせ
I already have like all the characters and I already like I'm pretty dedicated to playing characters.
ジャイアンツ
There's so many people that like
切る邪炎滅流
they grow up and play her commonly. I like white. I like playing white. I like playing Shizuru. I like playing Shirinui. I like playing Yukikaze. I like playing Yukikaze. I like playing Rinko. It's one of those things like I mean, I feel like the only character I don't like playing, the only two characters I don't like playing are Micah because I don't like her gameplay, and Oboro because I don't like Oboro. Like I don't like Oboro. She's just an evil bitch. I don't like that. So, I mean, what? Maybe I could. We'll see. We'll see.
少しやどこに行くんだ
So one more login.
どこに行くんだ
How much AP?
少しどこに行くんだ
Can I pick up more? Yes, I can. 196.
さあ号令をかけてくれ準備はできている
272. Okay, I can wait.
少し休むか無理はするなよ
I will be right back. Let me get water. Alright, okay, alright. Hello, Doleful. Oh, hey, Doleful Bird, how's it going? Oh, hey, thank you for the raid. How's it going? How's it going? Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thank you for the raid. How's your stream? What were you streaming? I did it with the Nintendo Direct. Ah, did you see anything in the Nintendo Direct that you wanted? I took a few peeks at it. I wasn't no Pokemon news. Ah, well. I think Pokemon Champions is like a big thing, so they kind of already had something. Kingdom Hearts 4. Oh, that's right. right. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 4. Well, hello Raiders, I am Sigurd Rosenthal. I am Knight, I'm a VTuber, and thank you for the raid once again, Doleful. They did announce Pokopia DLC. Oh, that's interesting. I think the biggest issue is that I don't have a Switch 2. Yeah, I heard about that. Ocarina of Time is, I think it's like the one that everyone knows because it's the first 3D Zelda that they made. My favorite's Majora's Mask. I love Majora's Mask. I like it more than Ocarina of Time, honestly. But Ocarina of Time is really, really good. Yeah, it was my first Zelda game. Yeah, Ocarina was my first Zelda game, now that I think about it. I'm old. Yeah, but yeah, I think my biggest issue with Nintendo Directs is that I don't have a Switch 2. So, it's one of those things that I've never played a Zelda game. Really? I'm sure you play a game like Zelda, though.
少し休むか。無理はするなよ。
I'm... Okay, that was more surprise than disappointment, but
これで全部かしら。
it's just
礼
no,
はいらねえ。気持ちか酒か菓子だけもらっとくよ。
because a lot of VTubers haven't played like a lot of the more common games. Maybe it's because I watch too many Japanese VTubers. Because I know some of them, like, I know at least a few Japanese VTubers who were not gamers before they became VTubers, and then they became gamers. But I mean, I guess it depends on the year that you start playing video games. Because if you got into video games in the 90s, I'm sure a lot of people who got into video games in the 90s, maybe even the 2000s, would probably have played a Zelda game. But I think in 2010, if you started getting into gaming in 2010, I think it was Skyward Sword? Like Skyward Sword and Twilight Princess? Was it? No, I'm trying to think. I think Skyward Sword is 2000s, and so is Twilight Princess. But then 2010s, what would the Zelda game of that time be? Because I'm pretty sure the 2010s is Wii U. I'm carbon dating myself right now. 2010s is... But if... Yeah, so if you got into the gaming during like the Wii U era, you probably wouldn't have played a Zelda game because the Wii U was not a popular console. You know, I think they might have been on a 3DS, that's why. You had like, no, not Minish Cap, it was Link Between Worlds and Phantom... Okay, yeah, that explains it. What's your favorite Pokemon? Piplup? Piplup is my favorite starter of Gen 4. I am a... I'm a Metagross. I like Metagross. He's my favorite. Metagross. Yeah, I love Steel types. Ever since Gen 5, it was Gen 5, so black and white. made the commitment that every single one of my teams going forward would be pure steel types. So I would only ever use steel types, and starting from black and white.
少し休むか。無理はするなよ。道具管理が大変なら手伝おうか。
Black and white, I basically only steel types, and then same with I skipped Gen 6, I think. Not Gen 6 was X and Y, I think. I skipped that one, and then I picked up again Gen 7, which is Sun and Moon, and then I stopped playing. And I'm kind of tempted to pick up Champions, but I really haven't gotten around to it. Anyways, as you can see right now, I'm playing one of my favorite gacha slot games, which is actually Taimanin. And I play this Tuesday because it's Taimanin Tuesday. Yeah, Champions looks fun. I like the battling aspect of Pokemon, but
どこに行くんだ？
like I said, I haven't gotten around to it.
君か。どこに行くんだ？
Yeah. Let's go for gacha. Let's see what happens. Yes, it is a free game, but you can pay for like stuff, I think. I don't know like the specifics, but I could ask my friend because he plays, but I don't know specifically how Champions works.
君か。おはよう。どこに行くんだ？君か。おはよう。
Before I forget, let me follow you on Twitch real quick.
Oh.
There we go. Okay. Let's see what's it in. Oh yeah, I was gonna do
さあ、号令をかけてくれ。準備はできている。
I don't wanna play this. Let's play as Granny.
稲毛屋出張開店だよ。
Alright, thank you for tuning in, thank you for rating.
そら
I really appreciate it.
遊んであげるからかかってきな。
Thank you for entrusting me with your viewers.
どりゃ行くよ。やるね。行くよ。だらけだ。春麗行くよ。はしゃぐんじゃない。どりゃ行くよ。釣りはいらないよ。行くよ。春麗しはい。お疲れさん。どりゃ
Why not to? It's not
し
very strong.
好きだらけだ。春麗子沿線源行くよ。どりゃ
Hold and dodge.
どりゃ釣りはいらないよ。し
Not
はい。行くよ。釣りはいらないよ。
I don't play Nazi, so I'm like, I forgot what build I have.
し沿線源好きだらけだ。どりゃ春麗子行くよ。はい。
今こそ勝機よ。
はい。
あら。
はい。遊びは終わりさ。好きだらけだ。春麗子し行くよ。釣りはいらないよ。どりゃそれ
続けなさい。
こいつはどうだい？好きだらけだ。春麗子行くよ。はい。お疲れさん。沿線源はいやるね。好きだらけだ。どりゃ春麗子
永久期。
はい。こいつはどうだい？
I'm just gonna use one more boss.
好きだらけだ。春麗子はい。はい。本気にさせたね。どりゃ行くよ。沿線源はい。好きだらけだ。はい。春麗子
続けなさい。
それこいつはどうだい？はい行くよ。それ遊びは終わりさ。
Not very strong.
はいやるね。沿線源はい
ちょうど影が落ちている。
連戦源隙だらけだ。行くよ。春栄光。そりゃ他者軍じゃない。やるね。隙だらけだ。行くよ。春栄光。連戦源。そりゃどりゃ。行くよ。隙だらけだ。行くよ。春栄光。そりゃ行くよ。釣りはいらないよ。連戦源。どりゃどりゃ。本気にさせたね。
続けなさい。
そりゃどりゃ。はい、遊びは終わりさ。
Is this chapter 24 or 23? I forget.
じゃあ遊んでみようか。
年季の違いを見せてやる。はあ、
Smoke.
隙だらけだ。そりゃ春栄光宣言。
ヘイトン、兵器。
はい、お疲れ。そりゃ隙だらけだ。春栄光やるね。はい、
あら、
はい、行くよ。はい、隙だらけだ。春栄光連宣言。どりゃ。はい、隙だらけだ。春栄光。ご苦労さん。ご褒美にお菓子をおごってあげるよ。
ちょうど影が落ちているわ。君か。おはよう。どこに行くんだ？君か。おはよう。どこに行くんだ？
Now that I am here, all will be well. Demon, a noble lady of a small country located in the demon realm. She dreams of symbiotic society between humans and demons, and she's staying in Gosha to experience that divergent culture. She normally looks like an instant lady due to her always bright and giddy appearance, but she also has the face of a fighter who rushes into the fight with a smile. She's observing the task force, a troop with both humans and demons alike run by Gosha. She is listed on paper as a task force member to accompany them on the mission, but she's closer to being compliant, VIP that needs protection. Although she is being protected, she is quite strong. Her main weapon is Machinery Edge, a weapon of the former Count Luxheim, which she inherited. The weapon is as tall as she is. Now that's a juicy looking steak. I want it. I want a steak. A lawless zone of darkness where justice and evil coexist, an extension of the demon realm rooted in the depths of the earth. The list of notorious names that describe Yomihara is endless. In this city that doesn't seem like a city where the laws of the upper world do not apply, gunfire or explosions are just one of the many noises. Even the members of the task force understood this. Normally they would brush it off without much care and say, an explosion or two happens every day. If only the mission this time wasn't an escort mission of a tiresome VIP.
ほらほらほらほら、あっちの方で煙が上がってますわよ。ねえ、見えないとは言わせませんわよ、中隊長。
I did not check her voice actress, but she sounds familiar. Abu Maria. Let's see. Not Abu Maria. Maya Abu. Yi in Zenless Zero. Specific characters and stuff. I have actually never seen any of her. Sorry. I have actually never seen any of her roles except for Arabella. Huh. Huh. Okay.
分かってます。だからここからさっさと離れようと言ってるんです。
近づくと危ないよ。離れる？どうして離れる必要があるんですの？貴族として為政者として、そして特務中隊として治安維持に尽力するのは当然の務めでしょ。事件解決に向けての初動捜査は何よりも大切なのですわ。こういう時足を使わずしてどうするというのです。
I like how she's a Desi Wall girl.
指示を出す立場にある俺やあなたに万一のことがあったら治安動向の問題ではなくなるでしょう。ここは先方との合流を目指すべきです。いいですね。
わかりましたわよ。少し考えを改めますわ。
She said a lot more than just say, okay, I understand.
わかりましたわよ。少し考えを改めますわ。
I don't know what she said quite there, but I know enough Japanese to know I don't know enough Japanese, but I also know enough Japanese to know that this is. She said a lot more than just this.
妙なところで物分かりがいいんだよな、この人。
The explosion suddenly occurred in the middle of a suspiciously glamorous downtown area. While being swept by the crowd rushing to evacuate the area, the two were struggling to persuade Arabella. Arabella Glucksheim. She's the next master of the Glucksheim family that's in charge of the national defense of a small country in the Demon Realm. To establish domestic prosperity and security in her country, and to realize a symbiotic society between the human and the Demon Realm, she wished to inspect various places as a first step. Chief Yamamoto, who respected such intentions, officially organized a temporary plan for the inspection, and the task force was assigned to escort her. A few days after she temporarily joined the task force, the royals of her country summoned her. She was asked to describe what she saw and felt directly to them. Arabella, who values formal conversation, has no reason to reject the request. Cool. That's, It should be had no reason, I think. Well, I mean, I guess has works. Okay, never mind. She asked for a temporary return through the gate of the Demon Realm. However, the task force couldn't let Arabella go to Yomihara alone because she is their VIP. Hence, Fuma and Nora were assigned as special escorts. And minutes after entering Yomihara, it was clear that their decision was the right one to make.
はあ、なんとか人混みから逃れられたか。
合流地点からは少し離れた。
場所が場所だけに、あちらさんも多少のトラブルは織り込み済みだったろうが、さすがにここまでの爆弾テロと勝ち合うなんて予想外だ。
The comms in Fuma's hand showed no reception. It looks like there won't be any contact from Glucksheim's escort team. They chose Yomihara as a rendezvous point for handing over Arabella. was natural that they avoided revealing themselves to the public since they were demons, but this time their caution will eventually cause a problem.
まだ何か燃えてる。鎮火できてないよ。
そうみたいだな。妙な焦げ臭さが消えない。なんとかあちらさんとの合流を急がないと。
ええ、それが賢明ですわね。いいですわね。わかりまして。もう少しだけ歩きますけど、我慢できますわね。
ちょっと誰ですかそれ。どこから連れてきちゃったんですかその子。
Before Kuma knew it, Arabella was holding the demon girl's hand. She was wearing a thick coat that didn't suit her thin body.
もう大声出さないでくださいまし。この子はさっきの人混みの中で見かけたんですの。見捨てるようなことできませんでしたので。
くそ仕方ない。ノマド騎士軍の連中にでも預けるべきか。
時間の余裕ないかもしれないよ。
ノア、
さっきのテロ、アラベラを狙ったものじゃないかも。
Noah's voice actress. Let's see, Noah's Aoi Koda. Noah is also voiced by the lady who played. I'm trying to find roles that I know. Utsuho Ryuji in Toho Spell Carnival. She's Komi, that's cool. Oh, she plays a lot of Toho characters in Lost World. Parse, Ichirin, Alice, Yomu, Watatsuki. Oh, she also plays Shisui. I guess that makes sense. They're very similar. She's one of the Japanese voices for the playable character in Code Vein. She's Kaguya in Kaguya-sama. What a resume. Oh, she's Crime Hill too, that's cool.
偶然にしてはできすぎって言いたいのか。
ではこの子を放ってあてもなく逃げろと言うんですね。その子自身が危険じゃないとも限らない。そんなこととうに分かっておりますよ。あなたがおっしゃっているのはこれのことでしょう。
Arabella undid the buttons of the girl's thick coat and showed the inside to the two. The girl's body was restrained by belts and harnesses all over. As soon as they saw devices connected to the belts, they knew what they were.
爆弾か。
As Fuma muttered, Noah stood in front of him.
人間爆弾。
That's not what she said. She didn't say suicide bomber, she said human bomb.
Ojo, その子から離れてください。
There are tons of refugees, vagrants, and prostitutes in Yamahara, and for radical terrorists, there are good resources as weapons. Just by providing some cash or a meal, you can get an autonomous tool that is smarter than a dog and cheaper than drones. Namely, they become the most practical slaves and weapons for terrorists.
昨今、都内でも被害が確認されている例のテロ屋か。くそ、趣味の悪い奴らだ。何考えてやがる。
ご覧になって中隊長。手口からして やはり先のテロ集団の仕業と見て間違いなさそうでしたよ。
Arabella's long and soft finger pointed at the belts and devices, twinning the girl?
このむき出しのセムテックスを
Twinning or
抱えてる
pointing?
の
That
が
might be
遠隔式の起爆装置。そして
20. I think it's 20.
このベルトとハーネスの裏側ありましたわ。ここに刻まれている門が魔術式の次元起爆装置です。
Yeah, okay, it's 20.
うかつに触らないでくださいよ。資料によれば強引に取り外そうとして起爆した例があるみたいですから。
ええ、存じております。ですのでこの遠隔式の起爆装置をあなた方に無力化していただきたいのです。こちらの魔術式の装置は私が解除いたします。魔導の心得はこの場では私しかおりませんので。
自分が何を言ってるのか分かってるんですか？
ええ、もちろん分かっておりますわ。遠隔起爆装置がある以上爆弾が標的に到達するのを見計らって起爆操作を行う役割の人間が付近にいるはず。
それをやっつければその子もアラベラも助かる。
この子がグリュックスハイムの代表と接触してなお爆弾が起爆しないということは、元より標的はアラベラお嬢でないか。その他に監視者がこの子の姿を見失ったか。
少なくとも私はこの向かっ腹の立つクソ野郎の行いを目の前にして尻尾巻いて逃げるようなことはできませんね。
This is really good voice work. I like it.
弱者に寄り添わずして何が貴族か。弱者に寄り添わずして何が貴族か。弱者に寄り添わずして何が貴族か。
One sec.
「弱者に寄り添わずして何が貴族か。弱者に寄り添わずして何が貴族か。弱者に寄り添わずして何が貴族か。
I can't make out what she's saying in that first part. But, I'm not a big fan of the translation. Naniga Kizo. Naniga Kizo Zoga is. What's the point? Or. Probably something along the lines of. What's the point in calling myself a noble if I can't help the weak? Something like that. I'd have to see the Japanese writing to make a more accurate translation because I can't make out the first part of the dialogue. Arabella's strong gaze pierced the two who were hesitating and it pressures them to quickly make a decision.
まあこうなるよな。行くぞノア、力を貸してくれ。
This is technically fine. It says Chikara, that means power, so it's like no, let me your strength. So I need your help is in the same spirit, but it's fine.
まあこうなるよな。 行くぞノア、力を貸してくれ。
Yeah, I need your help is correct. Lend me your strength would be a better translation, but I guess it's still
ふうま。わかった。
Understood would have been a better translation. The two rushed out, leaving Arabella and the girl behind.
アラベラお嬢の言う通り、先の事件の手口を習っているなら、あの女の子を死認してた野郎が近くにいるはずだ。でなければ遠隔起爆装置なんて使うはずがない。監視役がドローンを経由して人間爆弾を死認していればおしまいだが、これまでのやり口からそこまで金のかかった手段は取ってこないはず。そしておそらく監視役の人間も。
While Fumo was deep in thought, he got a call from Noah through the comms who was moving separately.
ふうま、それらしい人見つけた。
ああ、こちらからでも確認できた。現場から離れる民衆とは逃げる方向が違う。匂うな。ノア、そのまま見失わないように追跡を続けてくれ。
了解。
動くな。
No matter how complex and strange the geography of Yomihara was, Fuma and Noah had the advantage both geographically and numerically. It was a young man who was cornered to a dead end by the two. He was holding a dirty stained comms in his hand.
いいか、妙な真似はしないでくれよ。おとなしくしていてくれれば痛い思いはさせない。両手を頭に。
ふうま、まずい。
I mean, I guess this is fine. Fuma, Mazui, I think that Mazui is it bad or is it danger? Faster than Noah could overpower the man, he injected a drug that he kept in his hand into his neck. The drug flowed into his veins and he started screaming like a beast. Noah quickly kicked his thin body away, but he trembled violently and made the two shiver.
魔族の血。
Afraid and in pain, the man let out a faint groan. Shortly, the demon's blood began to deform the man's body mercilessly. The muscles and his bones of his limbs grow and shrink, or randomly form. There's no way his original skin and nervous system can bear the sudden change in the body. Scattering liquids such as blood or bodily fluids, the man kept rising in pain. Brother, you brought this upon yourself by injecting yourself.
くしゃー、悪趣味にも限度があるだろうがよ。
ふうま、来るよ。
They had no choice but to fight back, but as soon as they assumed a fighting stance, as if dancing, Arabella swooped down from directly above with a brave cry. With the momentum of her descent, she struck the deformed man with her weapon. The name of her main weapon is Machinery Edge. It is a steel club that's over 2 tons. 2 tons? Jeez. That's a heavy sword. How much does a car weigh? Oh. Yeah, so she's basically swinging around a car. The head of the aberration was crushed by Arabella's strike and died without further pain.
アラベラ王女。
ご心配なさらず、次元式のコードは滞りなく解除いたしました。 もう嫌ですわ。早く着替えたいったら。
That's impressive.
よかっ
しかし前途多難だな。お嬢には悪いけどジンマの共生社会だ
あら、もしあなたこんな出来事程度で私が魔界に引っ込むとでもお思い出して。
Arabella picked up something that was buried in the dead man's body.
それは蝶か。
あの女の子が身につけさせられていた魔術式の起爆装置と同じもんが刻まれてますわ。それに護身用の拳銃すら持ってませんでしょう。テロリストとてこれでは末端の構成員とも呼べませんわ。
この人もテロリストに変われた。
確かに大通りでの爆発から行動があまりにもお粗末すぎる。
食うに困ってか報酬に目がくらんでかは分かりませんわ。それにやらかしたことがやらかしたことです。決して許されることではありませんわ。しかしこんな死に様を晒さねばならない悪人などこの宇宙のどこにもおりませんでしょう。
She's a bit too kind-hearted, I think.
お嬢、
現に一日食べられるだけの希望があれば少なくとも彼はこんな事件に手を貸すことはなかった。それだけのことですわ。たったそれだけのことで私は諦めたりはできませんのよ。
Arabella said as if saying goodbye to the dead body. A few days after the explosion incident, while Fu and No are having unfulfilled feelings about the terrorism, the day has come where Arabella returns to the human world after her temporary return to her homeland. The rendezvous point with her was a multi-purpose hall of a hotel in the city, when the two went without a hint of what Arabella's intention was.
あら、遅いですわよ、中隊長とちびっこ。会食に遅刻してくるなんて一体どういう了見しとりますの？
アラベラお嬢、これは一体。
一体も何も、この地上で私がやるべきことといえば、そう、炊き出しですわよ、炊き出し。
That's clearly a steak.
ご飯いっぱい夢見たい。
As soon as the two stepped into the hotel, an appetizing smell stimulated their noses. Lots of tables full of dishes lined up the hall. Arabella was chartering the entire city hotel. Today's chef directing both the hall and the kitchen was Arabella, who appeared in front of the two with a Japanese-style apron. Most of the dishes were Western, and the interior of the hotel was also Western. However, only the outfit of Chef Arabella was purely Japanese-style. They couldn't help but hesitate.
ほら、さっさと召し上がんなさいな。毎日できることではありませんのよ。さあさあ。
Arabella cut meat with a huge long knife and gave a piece to each Fuma and Noah.
おお、これは。
おいしい。
そうでしょう、そうでしょ
She got that Ojo-sama laugh.
う。おいしい食事には国籍も人種も関係ありませんわ。為政者としては若輩であろうとも、これだけはきちんと分かっているつもりですの。
Food can unite people. I mean, I guess that's true.
どれをとってもうまい。このビュッフェの献立 もしかして全部アラベラが？
私は郷土料理をちょっぴりアレンジしただけですのよ。実際の調理はうちの使用人たちにも手伝ってもらってますの。
As Fuma looked around, there was the escort team from Glucksheim, which he had met before. They were working hard as servers, carrying trays.
私の故郷は正直言って弱小もいいところですの。今でこそ魔界は列強同士の膠着状態が続いてはいるものの、殴り合いにでもなればひとたまりもありませんわ。決して肥沃とは呼べぬ故郷を生かすために、父や祖父は文字通り身を粉にして尽力しましたわ。安島を生き抜く処世術も土地を肥やすための農学もそのためのものですの。そしてこの調理技術こそがグリュックスハイムに伝わりし、マシーナリーエッジと並ぶ殿下の宝刀。空腹を満たすためにこそ、時に我々は剣ではなくレードルを握るのですわ。
Arabella said so proudly, and a small figure came to her. Noah recognized that figure, who kept lowering her eyes and handed out a plate.
あの子、この前のテロの。
あら、おかわりですの？よくってよ。さあさあ、打ちなさい打ちなさい。舌鼓を打ちなさいな。
After piling up the sliced meat pieces on a plate with huge tongs, Arabella laughed vigorously. Suddenly, Fuma looked around, and much more people gathered. Fuma looked around, and much more people than before were gathering to get food. Just as Arabella said, no matter what ethnicity, nationality, and who the person is, all of the people here seem to be enjoying her food deep in their hearts.
確かにこれを見せられたら絵空事とは言えないな。ジンマの強制ってやつも。
フォークが止まってる。いらないなら私にちょうだい。
She's got her priorities straight.
絶対ダメ。
Oh, that's it. Alright, I think that's a good place to end it. Let me see who's still... Oh, okay, I think she's still going on. Alright, thank you for tuning in, everyone. That will be it for tonight. I will be playing Unclean Water tomorrow. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna raid Amalia this time, so let's raid Amalia Solaris. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Once again, Unclean Water tomorrow. Good night.